Apple's campus here in Cupertino is home to the world's most iconic consumer electronics. But Apple has been an outlier in recent years in Silicon Valley by focusing on hardware at a time when internet startups have stolen much of the limelight. Now that's starting to change. We're seeing new kinds of gadgets appear and new hardware startups cropping up, thanks in part to gadgets like Apple's own iPhone. Just down the road from Apple is Scanadu, a prime example of the new hardware startups popping up in the Bay Area. Their device, like something straight out of Star Trek, couples with a smartphone to allow people to monitor their heart rate as well as their blood oxygen levels.
So this is actually an emergency room in your pocket, so which in 10 seconds you can immediately read all your readings and you can see how do you feel. 98 pointer, that's normal, and 98, that's also normal.
Getting a hardware startup off the ground like this used to take tens of millions of dollars in venture capital. But now, thanks to crowdfunding sites like Kickstarter, companies such as Pebble, a smartwatch maker based in Palo Alto, actually have a chance at bringing their ideas to life.
Hi Kickstarter, my name is Eric. This is my smartphone. And this is my Pebble.
One of the benefits of being on Kickstarter is that we were working with customers who backers who really wanted the product, and so they put their money sort of forward. We were able to get into manufacturing just on the funds from Kickstarter alone, and now we're in the process of shipping to these people, and in the last 2.5 months we've shipped over 60,000 Pebbles to our Kickstarter backers.
One of the driving forces to startups like Pebble and Scanadu is access to lower-cost prototyping technology. Here at Tech Shop in San Francisco, an app maker can easily learn how to turn the digital into the physical.
A good prototype, the whole concept of prototyping, is you doing it rapidly and learning from your mistakes. That's hard to do when you're farming it out to a prototyper across town or across the ocean. It's also tremendously expensive. So one of the real advantages that a lot of entrepreneurs have is the ability to rapidly test out their ideas and their dreams and to perfect it very quickly. They can do that now. They can do it in one evening.
Whether designing a medical device or learning how to operate a 3D printer, this flurry of activity fuses the internet innovations of the last decade with much of the Valley's hardware heritage.
What we're seeing now is finally the age of reconciliation, where these two things are really coming together. And this is very different from the way things were done before. You created a bunch of hardware, software had worked on some applications over there, and the two were put together at the end, last minute. Nobody talked to each other. And today, what's really so exciting for me is the fact that we have to have both software and hardware be experience and design driven.
So with all of the pieces in place to support this maker movement, there is a real possibility that Silicon Valley could be at the dawn of a new era. While entrepreneurs can prototype, fund, and deliver new and exciting gadgets to a few Kickstarter backers, the true test for hardware startups in 2013 will be if they can scale up from a few thousand units to 1 million. Tim Bradshaw, Financial Times, in San Francisco.